coming, but to start, I'm going to bring out our Director of Marketing, AJ Morris. He's in charge of all your pre-orders, so everything you see go up on social goes to this guy, so AJ. Woo! There's a YouTube show once a month, so when we don't have these events, you know, at Comic-Cons, you want to stay up to date with what's going on, AJ hosts a YouTube show once a month, so check that out on our YouTube channel, and we're on every single social platform known to man. So follow us on all those platforms, and you'll get all the latest McFarlane Toys news. But with that, I'm gonna bring out our founder, legendary creator of Spawn, Mr. Todd McFarlane. Woo! AJ's going to kick us off here. We've been partnering with Walmart for a long, long time, but AJ, you've got more to fill us in with here, right?
Yeah, so at the Walmart booth 2821, we're doing a pretty cool bundle. You buy one of the Spawn action figures, so there's 3 different versions up there. You go to the booth, you buy any one of those, and you're going to get a really cool, exclusive variant cover Spawn comic book.
Yeah, it's 177. Again, we've got a mini-series coming out called Spawn 77. Mark Spear is one of the preeminent cover artists going to be doing it. We've got 6 issues already in the can. But we've been wanting to call it Spawn 77. There's been some math. I was born in 1961, and I was 16 when I created Spawn in high school. If we were to make it 1977. So whenever anybody sees because we did a toy based on my original drawings when I was 16 years old, and it doesn't look as refined exactly the way that Spawn did in 1992 when we started Image Comics. So whenever I pulled that out, they were like, it doesn't look the same. It's like, no, that was my Spawn from 77. So we just now have a weird title and a name to it, so you get that character. Walmart, if you go out to the book. Let me just say about sometimes big corporations can get good and bad reputations, whatever else, right? I'm going to tell you my experience.
Not speaking to the microphone.
I'm also thankful that the company Target, but let me tell you, Walmart was the #2 company that ever supported my toy, ever. I went to my very first toy fair, and the very first person to say, yes, there's toys for us, they don't exist. And I was able to then take some of that momentum, and my next phone call went to Walmart, and they went, okay, we'll take a chance on you. For the Spawn, that's all I had at that point was Spawn. And we've been selling to them non-stop, right? The thing that's interesting with the toy that you don't sort of see behind the scenes is that for about 15 years it was the same buyer. And then he left, and then it was another buyer for like, it seemed like another 10, 12 years. The consistency of those two guys, and here's what I appreciated, because you guys weren't even with me that way. Here's what I appreciated about, I don't know if there's even anybody here from Walmart, but here's what I appreciated about Walmart at that time, is that I would bring all my stuff like this. And this is, just so you guys know, it's not exclusive to Walmart, but I'm telling you, when you go and sell your stuff, you come and you bring all your stuff and you put it on the table, and you show it to them, you give them all the reasons why. And I would get, from almost everybody else, as a matter of fact, everybody else, they go, well, we'll think about it, we'll get back to you, whatever. And at some point, that doesn't work very well, because you gotta make, if you wanna get the toys out on time, you gotta make them at a certain time, you need a commitment, one way or the other. And when I went to Walmart, and again, it didn't always go my way, but I appreciated with them, that the buyers would, for 20 years, I'd have like 30 toys on there, and they would go, yes, no, 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 yes, 800 stores, go store-wide, no, no, no. Now, it seems like a simple thing, but every time I walked out of a Walmart, I knew exactly where I stood. I knew what we could do. They don't want those 8, they want those 8. Let's go make them. They give us an order 3 days later, we're off to the races. Why is that important? Because you need 2, 3, 4 big accounts to be the lifeblood of bringing revenue into your company. So, and again, remember, this is sort of all pre-internet, right? We're now in a lot of other different options. You needed some big accounts to keep you going, right? And so I'm sort of thankful I got a short list of some of those that when I look back and go, if they hadn't supported us, we probably wouldn't still be there, right? And so, Toys R Us being the first one, Walmart being the second, and over the years also Target. So all of them, thank you. So, yep. Next.
You can only get the cover at the Walmart booth, and they do have a bunch of other really cool stuff on display that Brian and Todd showed on the Walmart live stream today. So definitely go check it out at the Walmart booth if you have more to do there.
Can I say one other thing about Walmart? I was part of one meeting one time, and to get there, you have to go, I was living in Phoenix, and you went from Phoenix to Dallas, and then you have to go to Northwest Arkansas. It wasn't even Bentonville, you're going to Northwest Arkansas, that's what it said on the communicator there. And I've been traveling my whole life, and I took a flight from Dallas to Bentonville, and it was the only time in my life I thought I was going to die. Seriously. I thought we were going to die. And it was one of the big hurricane tornadoes came in, and at some point we couldn't make it through. And eventually we said we're going to land at this airport or that airport. And eventually, because we tried to board it 3 times, we couldn't get through the storm. And then they said we're going to go to this airport, and eventually they said those airports have been shut down. We have no fuel. We have to go through. The thing we just boarded 3 times. We have to go, we have no choice. We put this plane in this dive, and it was shaking, and it was going, let me say, it was the only time I've ever been on a plane where I saw adults crying.
That's their mic.
Because we all thought this was it. For me personally, and I'm getting way off the map here, but for me personally, I was silent and I made my peace. Because I vowed at that moment that the last moments of my life was not going to be, I will not have that. Now, people will know, but I will personally, before I turn it around. But I did have an epiphany that day. I'm going, is it worth dying for plastic? Why am I up in this air? As much as I like toys, as much as I like Walmart, as much as I like selling to you guys, I was like, is plastic goods the way you should die? Like, and I had 3 young kids. I'm like, man, it should be something grander than that. So, but I haven't figured out how to create software, and I didn't invent AI yet. Anyway, go.
All right, we have over 40 reveals.
Okay, that's
here.
enough.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is our first line of Turtles in McFARLANE Toys history. Todd, you drew a cover way back when.
Yeah.
But our slice, as we talked about, is based on the IDW comic books. So we're super excited to translate those into 3D form. These are 5-inch figures, and they come with the comic book. This is wave 1. These are hitting stores AJ right now, literally right now.
Yep.
Right? So
Yeah, these are ones that, like he's saying, they're based on the comic books way back when, some of the original stuff. And there's a bunch of characters that have never actually made it into any of the movies and or the TV show. So we have access to a library of characters and style that hasn't sort of been there. And we're hoping to sort of give a different sort of edge to some of the products that you haven't seen before.
And we will be releasing them online on October 15th as well. So they're hitting stores, and then we're gonna put them online.
October 15th?
Yes, next week. That's next week.
So wave 1, you get Leo and Donnie, and then obviously you want all 4 turtles. So wave 2, and Rocksteady will be coming with this as well, but Raphael and Michelangelo this winter. So stay tuned for all those. Very excited to get those to show. Mortal Kombat Classic, we obviously revealed the first wave and change at San Diego, but we've got more here. Obviously, the first wave with Sub-Zero, Scorpion. These are based on the original video game, right? Okay, so bringing them to market right now.
Yeah, so the first wave is hitting stores right now. As Brian said, we had Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Liu Kang, and Katana. I almost get Katana Melina mixed up, I'm sorry. But we did have both John and Melina in that first wave as well. But the second wave is coming soon. Of course, yes, there's Melina, of course. And what we do have coming, just launching for pre-order today, is the second wave, which has Reptile and Raiden. And then in addition to the solo packs, we're doing our deluxe 2-packs, which come with a huge array of accessories, alternate hands, alternate heads, and then a really cool environmental backdrop, so you can stage a cool fight scene with the two characters. And these deluxe 2-packs, these are exclusive to McFARLANE Toy Store and at Walmart as well. So they were a part of the Walmart live stream today, so we showed those off. We have Reptile and Liu Kang, which comes with those additional accessories that I mentioned. And then the other 2-pack, which also launched for pre-order today, is a blood-splattered Scorpion and a Raiden with his, of course, his lightning accessories, and again, some really
Yeah, we had
cool
that set up today earlier when we were in the fishbowl, when we were doing the podcast.
Yeah.
These figures also have pretty extreme articulation on them. Because again, for some of us who go way back, the side-to-side original Mortal Kombat, like everything was super animated, big. It had to be melodramatic. So we're trying to see if we can get these figures that kind of go in the scrolling left and right posing too. If you guys want to have a little bit of fun.
We do have Reptile in the
Oh yeah.
beginning
Oh,
right there
I'll show
too.
you. I'll show you that. I'll show you that.
Yeah. My best action pose.
Look at this. All right. Now, that's a good split, right? That's a full-on split. So from there, you can do any pose that you want to. That becomes the side-to-side scrolling. And arm, you can actually scratch the back. Of the back here, which is good. Look, I always think a good action figure should be able to kick your own ass. It sounds like a punchline, but it's true. But it means that you've just got enough articulation, right? Because we can do it as humans, right? I can kick my ass. Right? So your toy should be able to do the same thing. Why? Because if you can give a figure the same movement as our body as much as possible, then that means you're maximizing pose, and you should put it in on your shelf if you're doing videos or anything like that. That's always the holdback of action figures as a whole. They don't have torque and muscles don't go, so how do you get the fake version of that? And so we're pretty proud of most of our figures and their articulation, but these ones specifically.
Launching this holiday season is the next installment of the Avatar films from James Cameron. They were kind enough to give us the latest trailer. We'll play it for you right now.
It's the only purest thing in this world.
Let's put it down because I'll get hit with copyright.
Back our forest. My people
Yeah.
If you look at, can I just say, James Cameron, I've had the pleasure of meeting him a couple times. He's a geek. Let me tell you, he's a geek, right? Like, you get him away from his whole crew, his people, he's a 10-year-old boy that quick, right? He's like, oh man, he's a cool talk. And then they go, James, we need you. He's like, oh, I'm gonna make a movie, right? He was shooting like 3 of these movies at the same time in different studios, whatever. He had like this big long idea. I remember when they explained it to us, like he had this big vision. But he also wanted to make sure, I don't think he was thinking about it in toy terms, but it works out, that there would be different looks as you started marching through the movies and different visuals, right? Some of the markings and or the designs of even things like the Banshee, the tribes, right? Even color of the skin, so everybody was going to be blue, right? Because again, you start getting to a lot of repetition of it. So always been sort of thankful for him. John, who partner, who passed away way too early, who was probably our biggest advocate. And again, everybody misses John. James Cameron misses him dearly because he's his best friend. We did because we had a big giant advocate of that power within it. And all they ever wanted us to do was to try and get it accurate, right? Like just take these cool ideas, have fun, get it accurate, and let's go. And they were, once we sort of went down that vein, they were super supportive of it. And to think that movies have been made for 100 years now, and that 3 of the top 4 grossing movies in the history of mankind, one human being has directed 3 of the top 4, right? It's like Avatar 1, Avatar 2, Titanic, right? And there's only an Avengers movie, what's been there somewhere.
There's no Super 7 panel. This is the end.
You know, right,
Of the toy panels.
so it's always impressive when you run into big talent, and they're supportive of us little guys trying to have fun with their product.
The team does a great job, bringing these to life, physical form. Working with our partners Disney and Lightstorm. It's a really cool toy edit look that we're able to get with these characters. So the wave that we have out that just launched for pre-order yesterday has Jake Sully to Tiri, and then 2 of the new Quaritch is of course from the past films, but in this he's an Ash warrior, and Barang is also one of the Ash clan in the new movie. I'm going to show you that Quaritch here on the Mega Banshee.
Yeah, we got Thor's bad guy, we'll do a lot different, but we got some of the new designs. But any of you supported some of the other ones, what we've done, because you saw it in the movie there, a lot like you put a light on, right? Then once you get it, you get all the figures out, have hidden markings on them that you put in there that work. And again, when we were kids, you have to be super dark, right? Same thing here, right? It works on that, and it also, you gotta be able to see the figure here, but here's the figure, and the figure also, same thing happens in the figure. So, over the fun thing. So again, you don't have to have a super powerful one that works pretty well, but just over the fun thing you can put in it.
Yeah, there's the 2 Mega Banshees, and then there's also, so these are all the pre-order yesterday, and then they are starting to hit stores right now too, so definitely check it out.
Yeah, then there's an exclusive on McFarlane Toy Store where you can Quaritch with the RDA Banshee as well, so go to McFarlane Toy Store and pre-order that one as well. Fallout Season 2 launches just this December 17th, right? Woo! We've got articulated figures for Fallout now. So Lucy, obviously, the main character from Season 1, she's available now in the Elite Edition, but we've got the rest of the cast as well. So these pre-ordered on October 23rd, so Hank McFarlane, Maximus, the Ghoul, and
hitting Target stores now.
Her right eye there. And then there's a really cool chase where you get Cooper Howard with his boy in his pre-nuclear apocalypse look here. So excited to get those to market. And then obviously our Movie Maniac figures as well, so you'll get the cast there, but you also get the Deathclaw and Securachon as well. So some of the creatures in the Movie Maniacs form factors as well. So.
And we're launching them live on Fallout Day, so on .com, so that's October 23rd, and they are starting to flow into stores this month as well.
and you'll see obviously plenty of all boys as well.
Nice.
Right?
Yeah,
So all different.
and the thing is, our partners on this have been tremendously supportive, but it's always fun too when the actor gets behind it, right? Because I've said before, worth repeating, that the actors kind of get a charge out of it when they know they're going to be made into an action figure, right? Some of them it's like, okay, then I made it, because now I'm a main enough character, and the project that I'm on, the brand that I'm on is important enough for somebody to make a toy of me, right? And it seems like a silly thing, and it was curious to me, but early on, when we started dealing with actors, especially the point that I'm really excited, I'd ask them why, and the answer was always the same, which is, look, if we can give away DVDs of our show to our family and our friends, right? But unless they're watching it, like, that's it, it's just a DVD sitting on the shelf. But when you've got like a toy or a poster or even a t-shirt, like something else, or especially a statue and or a toy, we can give it to our family and they can put it on their shelf. And then they can sort of go, yeah, my uncle, my dad, my mom, or whatever, and no, whatever, that's them, and they were in that movie. And they get a charge out of that, right? That they know that they were in the movie with the DVD, but the toy signifies something that everybody can see, even the neighbors when they come in, going, look at that toy film right there, it's looking good. It's always a joy when they support us too.
Let's jump to comic books. Long-running DC multiverse here. We got some deep cuts, but also some long-requested figures here. So, Superman, Larfleet, Rocket Red, and Ice released Fire earlier this year.
There we go.
And then some chases for those kind of rookie cards, as you say, Todd. Gangbuster and Black Condor as well. So, really rounded out.
Yeah, here's the thing we were talking about earlier today, that, I mean, we've had pretty good success of going to, internally, like, I give them credit, like, there's the A, the B, the C, characters, and we sort of grade them down in terms of our internal sort of popularity, right? I mean, we all know instinctually that Plastic Man might not be as popular as Superman, right? So you assign them a grade that goes there. You have to actually mix and match these characters. Why? Because you cannot just put all the A characters up at some point, run out of them, or people get bored of it. And you can't then go, oh, we'll do a whole one of these. It doesn't work that way. What I found in 30 years what works is you kind of, at times, when you just, let's say, 6 figures, you do 2A, you do 2C. Here's why that matters. The collectors, you guys know which ones are the C. Everybody's gonna buy the A, that's everybody. Your next door neighbor knows who those characters are. The C characters are ones that super geeks know about, and we usually don't make a lot of them. And those are the ones, I remember early when I started the company, the stock boys would buy all, right? They wouldn't even get out, because they had to open up in the chases, they would take all the chases home with them, right? It was a good time back then, early to be a stock boy. They were, oh, wait a minute, I'm taking that home at a 10% discount. They were getting a free discount. So they're going, oh, okay, people get frustrated, they wouldn't come out there. But what that means now, even on pre-orders and stuff like that, we usually limit how many we're making of those. So you get almost a couple times, people go, man, that came out, it sold out, and it's hard to find items. They triple that on eBay. I think we also owe the collector market to try and keep their value on the secondary market. I think that helps sort of spur collecting. But what it means is you see a character that seems, why don't I buy him? The answer is we didn't make a lot, right? And if you don't make a lot of something, I promise over time, the price goes up on those ones, right? So it's happening right now in my Spawn comics. The lull of about 3 years where they didn't really buy that many comic books are now the ones that are the hardest to get, because there's not that many and the price is getting like jacked up on it. So same thing happens here.
We're going to jump ahead real quick because we got something that's happening right now. We're going to jump to the Elite Edition. And Todd, I want you to kind of reveal this first figure because it leads to a bigger initiative. So our Elite Edition figures are our most elite, to be redundant, most advanced and deluxe action figures. You've got a Spawn figure coming to market. And beginning of January with a top
Woo! There you go. Oh.
Easy. That was a glitch. And we haven't done Spawn with like a cool wire cake, right? And again, we're quite proud of how our cake works these days. This is a prototype of what we're looking for right here. I keep saying I'm going to figure out one day how to make a 2-foot version of it. Probably going to need a couple of stands or whatever else, and be in a box set or something. But this is going back to the original 1992 OG design with cloth, with sort of bags behind it. It's going to have a big, bendable, cool-looking cowl on it, and we're going to have steel chains and stuff. Doing some of the stuff that sort of mattered what we did when we first were doing McFARLANE, able to do all the crazy stuff that was in there, and then you get some autograph cards to go with it. So.
But the Spawn's going to kick off something a little bigger, right?
Yeah, so we'll kick off a little bigger. We were sitting there going, okay, I really like Spawn and Todd's cool, but there's way cooler guys out there. And in 1992, I had the great pleasure to share sort of some history at the beginning with Eric Larson, Jim Valentino, Jim Lee, Mark Silvestri, and Rob Liefeld. These were the original founders of Image Comics Books, my original partners here. And so we have now convinced each and every one of them to allow us to do a founder Image Comic Book.
Woo!
And the excitement is, I mean, again, everybody's done different characters, somebody's gone different paths, whatever, but the history and the impact, we didn't know we were doing at the time, that we started, and that is because of the great efforts of these great people. And not everybody gets to go to conventions, and everybody has their schedules, whatever else, but I can say with great pride that I have one of my original founders here, Mr. Jim Lee.
I'm here to approve the action figure.
So it's interesting that when we went and made the contract with everybody, we were asking each one of them, like, who do we think we should make? And we'll kind of leave it up to you. We're not going to sort of muscle you. You guys know your characters. So why is Spartan cooler potentially, or at least a good start out of Wildcats than some of the others? Do you think?
Well, I think that because he hasn't gotten as much attention as like Griffith. I think Griffith, you guys have been an awesome Griffith report already. So to me, Spartan was always the leader of the Wildcats, and I'm excited to see what you guys do with the figure. I mean, I think the last time we had one was like back in the day or something like that. So this is super exciting.
Yeah, and again, I mean, images evolve, and like I said, all 6 of us there are not the same 6, but when we look back on the history, those are all for sure all the balls. Although I guess Cyberforce was Mark, but Witchblade became one of his prominent characters that was there. But we're just trying to do either a new look for characters that have already had a toy somewhere in the last 30 years, or trying to come up with characters that we haven't done before. Eric Larson, as you know, Jim, is the most particular, we'll leave it at that word, with his, and they did the sculpting, they gave me the sculpt, but I find it endearing because, as you guys know, Eric is up to about 260 issues of Dragon, and he has drawn and inked and written every page of every one of those 270 issues. As Jim and I know, that is an ungodly feat that it's almost the Cal Ripken Jr. streak. It will never get broken again, right? So, but when they showed me, I don't know if you know this, they showed me the Dragon, and they said, Todd, when you get your notes, and I go, hey, before you even get one note from me, send it to Eric. Right? Because I don't want to do anything because he's very particular. Let me tell you how particular Eric Larson is. And I say it in terms of zero. We used to do these jam pieces.
Yes.
And we each draw like one of our characters. But they were like 6 of us, 6 characters we own on one piece, be a promo piece or whatever else. And Eric would do his dragon. And then I'd go in there and I would like ink like 3 extra lines on like one of the knuckles. You draw it's a big draw. And man, we would send that back, and I'm telling you, within 10 minutes, I get the phone call. Did you put fucking lines on my head? I didn't think you'd notice. Why are you reckoning? It's just 3 lines, like what do you call it? Like the character is this big, I put like this on it. Like, that's how particular he is, which I find I'm kind of jealous of, that he knows exactly in his mind what he wants. So hopefully when we get that dragon approved by Eric, it's going to look exactly like what he wants it to be. Because he just wants it, like all of us, just wants it to be a great replication of what it is.
Yeah, these are pretty cool.
You should send him sketches from the issue of Dragon that I drew and say that's Of all the guys, we did that to get ahead of our schedule.
But keep in mind, they're going to be elite edition, so they're not going to be cheap.
So I did a pretty decent fill-in issue, and then I'm going to do a new issue. And just,
No, I
basically erase my whole issue for
when I go to
continuity.
comic books, this is a good one. You talk about Eric when I get back to toys.
Sure.
We swapped books. Jim Lee did an issue of the Savage Dragon. Jim Lee! And Jim Lee draws any of your books, you say yes. You say yes. He did it. And for years I'd be on the phone, and that Jim Lee issue stuck in his head. Not because Jim did a bad job, but because it broke his streak. And so I think he was Jim, I think, and what issue was it? It was like issue 13. Okay, issue 13. Issue 13. I think all the way up to about, Eric was on issue 72. Years have gone by. The festering bleeding ulcer that was there. And finally, I go, hey, what's coming out in your Dragon? I'm not doing Dragon this month. And I go, why didn't you Dragon? I'm redoing Jim Lee's issue. And so, he actually redrew Jim's issue. Same script, he just took his script and said, hey, we had never done that crossover. Here's what it would have looked like, so that he could put it into the world, so that when he does his reprints, he doesn't reprint Jim. He's like, no, it's gonna all be me, and then there's this like bastard child, which is Jim Lee artwork, right? So, but those are the sort of the fun.
And that's why I left Image Comics.
We got 100 of them. I keep saying it's a TV show someday. So, a Shadowhawk would be, Dragon and Shadowhawk would be a couple of the other ones. Jim Valentino came out with his. Jim Valentino doesn't travel, doesn't fly. You know, he just got to that point where he just, I'm not gonna do it anymore. So he doesn't even go to San Diego. So, otherwise, it'd been cool if he was here and he could say a few words about his character, but it was always an elegant design, I thought. Really simple, black and silver, like Oakland Raider color, really good. Witchblade, what do you got to say about Witchblade? I'll let you have this one.
Me?
Yes.
Is that Witchblade? Oh yeah, that's Sarah.
Yeah, but it's a gold version. We've done the classic one. This is a new look.
No, that's awesome. I think they relaunched the book, right?
Yes, they did.
They did, yeah. No, like, I can't, I'm old, it all looks blurry to me, so it looks great, Todd. But I assume that, I don't, that's Mark's art, right? That's not Michael Turney, right? So.
No, that's Mark's art, because they give a new costume to her, the gold one, because the other one is like pretty sexy, right?
No,
so this one,
she's more covered up, but
yeah.
essentially, it's the human form.
Yeah, Mark's really good at it. And then,
Yes, he's very good at it.
Rob Liefeld recently returned on Youngblood, and Prophet was one of his sort of big, cool, brute, strong, slash Hercules type characters. But I think these are going to be like in one big package, or what?
So they're in the Elite Edition box, right?
Correct.
Which is very similar, I'll jump back like to our Fallout T60. So they'll all be branded with the comic book branding, you know, so Wildcat or Spawn or whatnot. That's loaded with accessories, packaging is the same size. And every other, it's just the housekeeping stuff here. Every other month, every 2 months, we're going to release an additional comics. So Spawn, Jimmy will be late spring, and Rob.
Late spring of next year?
Yeah, 2026.
Yeah, and then eventually, again, I know that the plan somewhere is to do the big one where they're all in one box, right? That one where you go image founders, I can just see it right now, image founders box, you open it up and there's like a version from each one. But I don't know which character, because some of them we may do multiple characters from the book and or the creators. So we don't know what's gonna end up in that big one, but I just wanna have like a true, not have to buy separate ones for me. I just want to have one and go, there's my buddies right there, and I can get everybody to me an autograph. It'd be kind of cool. It was a fun time, Jim will tell you. It was a fun time back there. And we've got,
What fun time?
yeah, we got, well, it was fun for me.
No, sure it was fun.
Yeah, and we have a lot of good stories there. And then now Jim, being a big shot over at DC, is one of the guys that comes along and helps us make sure that our toys do DC Multiverse. So if you guys like the DC Multiverse line, just give me do a round of applause here too.
It's a little surreal to me that, 33 years after we started Image Comics, and you had started your toy line, and we're all jealous of, we all wanted our stuff made into toys by you, that it took all these decades of me to go to DC, and then you to get the DC license to finally pull off the Spartan action figures. So it's just,
yeah, we should have
the
done
world works in mysterious
yeah, we
ways,
should have
for
done
sure. You could have just got the license from day one.
yeah, we could have. But, just so we're clear, when I said I was gonna start a toy line, they weren't putting Vegas, money down on that bet, right? I understand, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes,
That's true.
so, and here we are.
Yes.
I pay you millions of dollars.
The parent company is the million.
Yeah.
I will get a free action figure if I am lucky. I'm excited.
All right.
All right.
Anyway, Jim's busy. He said he'd be gracious enough to end his signing a little bit early to come say hi to all of you guys. So a round of applause.
We'll go back to DC. Thanks, Jim.
Oh, thank God.
So, Page Punchers.
Can I just say they have good eyes? Like there was just a flash of that thing in him, and they caught it, and I was like, oh man, that's like, it's like hockey eyes, right? You know, a hockey puck. They saw offside. So that was good.
So comic book figures here, some long overdue. On the McFARLANE Collector Edition side, some long overdue fan requests here, including Professor Pig and
Just wanted to, like I said, like we can come in and make some of the deep cut. Because again, as you can imagine, once you do a certain amount of Superman or Batman or whatever, people aren't saying, oh, can you do more, right? I mean, they'll take them all day long, but they start picking their favorite characters, and you get the email from you good folks, and or text or whatever, on their social. And you actually, you ask for something that we internally go, I don't think we should have thought of that first, right? I never want them to be ahead, but you guys ask for something, go, yeah, let's go ahead, let's make that one. It just seems, it's so goofy that it would be fun, and who wouldn't want that one on their, Professor Pig? Who didn't want a Professor Pig? Because it's a conversation starter, I promise you. You buy a Professor Pig, and you put it on
Watch
your shelf,
the platinum
and
version
you
come with the
invite
hat
your
for Black
aunt or
Hawk.
uncle over. You're gonna get a question, right? Like, is there a man with a big head on your shelf right now, right? And then you can go and give him whatever story you want. So,
just an update here. We revealed this in San Diego, and it was an Elite Edition figure, but we decided to include it in the Collector Edition line. So, Zatanna with Detective Shrimp coming up.
Nice.
DC, we've got some deluxe theatrical editions here. So our Batman Returns wave hits stores right now. So come on.
Over the past few years, you guys have spoken. We put them out. We tried a couple of the early Batman movies. They worked. You guys asked for more. We did some more, and then eventually it was like, eventually we gotta hit them all, right? Like get them all for some of the people who either like that movie specifically, or people who were completed. So I gotta have all the movies, right?
I just feel that's pretty good. Pretty. No, I could imagine. Collective.
And perhaps the greatest vehicle of all time.
Yes.
Exclusive to GameStop and EB Games in Canada. So go check that out. That's
That big display there. Toy Biz.
and then we've
That's
got an
always
active
out.
crowdfund going on right now for Suicide Squad, Margot Robbie, Harley Quinn.
Thank you.
There's many levels, and I'm paraphrasing because we want to get to the next segment here, but this is an active crowdfund. Slowly build up the amount of accessories depending on the level you want to join. So this is the max level, level 4, so you get temporary tattoos, a movie poster, multiple heads, or jacket, baseball bat, etc. Jared Leto's Joker is part of that.
I found the Batman Returns before I left for New York.
I guess colorway that's an add-on there as well. So go fund this right now. It's active and live. You can scan that QR code if you want to pick that up. Take you straight to the site. It takes a second to load.
Yeah, and like you said, there's different variations of it, different price points. You get this sort of like a buffet. You get to pick the one you want that makes any kind of sense to you. But I know that when we do those ones, we're able to add just a little bit more to them because the price is a little bit elevated. It's not some of the stuff we can do when we go into sort of the mainstream stores because we have to be super price sensitive. And in these ones, we can sort of make sure that we get it way closer to right. And people seem to be willing to pay an extra $5-10 for a figure to do that.
I'm going to bring AJ back up to help me because there's a lot of hockey players coming. Todd, you can help with this.
Yeah, hockey season just started. And baseball season's still going. I was at a bar with my dear wife the other day to watch the Blue Jays play the Yankees. In a bar full of Yankees fans. And here's what, I'm going to digress again. We were there, packed. Every TV and big screen on the back, packed. Blue Jays, Yankees, and they were boisterous. And I go, man, this is cool. We're New York game, here we go. And then we got ahead. And if we win, then you guys go home. That's it, your season's over. Which we were hoping for, but we were only 2. So we were there, we weren't getting too obnoxious because we go, hey, we're in the Lions stand here, let's be quiet. And then somebody came up to me and said, hey, Tom, I recognize you. He was a fan. He said, hey, can I get an autograph, whatever. But I was talking about the Yankees, and he said, oh, I worked at Yankee Stadium for 12 years. Because I go, I'm sitting here till 9:10, we want to see what happens, especially if the Blue Jays win. Well, how does this go down? He goes, I know exactly how this goes down, Tom. See all these people here? I promise you they won't be here by 9:10. So about the 7th inning, we're behind, by the 3rd go. By the 8th inning, we're still behind, by the 3rd go. By the 9th inning, whoever's sort of there, keeps their drink down and wait. We don't make a scene, we don't cry, we don't yell, we just leave with our hearts aching and we go home and we lament. And I was so focused on the game because we were winning, my Blue Jays, Canadian, right?
The panel's not
and all
over
of a
yet.
sudden the last stop came.
Anything could happen.
Yeah, we won, and I turned, and there was only one other person in there. And I just quietly laughed, like about 100 people had left. I wasn't even paying attention, and they weren't making a fuss, they just left. So he knows the Yankee fan, so sorry about that, but go Blue Jays.
We got a big roster.
Oh, there you go.
Oh yeah, you skipped.
Oh, man.
It's okay. Very quickly.
It's a real need you, AJ. It's so good.
Wait. We do have a big roster of NHL post figures that are 7-inch scale. They are pre-posed, so a bunch went up for pre-order time this season, which just started this week. And we go to the next.
We got the NFC figures.
Yeah, and NFL.
NFL, yep.
Obviously, the season's in full swing. Big win for the Giants last night. But
Yeah, Giants took down the Eagles. Took down the Giants fans. That was a beautiful win.
And huge roster as well of NFL players. So definitely check it out if you're a sports fan. We have NFL, NHL, MLB, and UFC figures.
Yeah, and again, it's fun coming back into it, I said in one other show, because every 5 years, the top players rotate, right? And you get a whole new wave, sort of like the artists in the comic books, every 5-10 years, there's another wave of like who's hot cover artist and or writer artist. Same with athletes, so now we get to do all these athletes that we never had a chance to do the first go round when we were doing our sports picks.
We're going to jump over to Marvel, but we're going to ask for a little help. Joining us to the panel is our creative director of product development from the Disney Consumer Products, Jesse Falcon. Please come up. Thank you.
Come on, Jesse! Thanks for coming. We've been trying to help you, Jesse, because Jesse's like the smart guy and knows everything at Marvel, but just so you guys know how this goes, again, behind the curtain, just because you want to do something, and just because they say yes, and just because you get a contract, you still have to make things, and people still have to encourage you and give proof. So he's our guy that basically, if he says yes, it's a go, and if he says no, then we have to ask why. He usually gives us his reasons, we have to go, and you're in constant negotiation until you get your lineup, and then you move forward. And these are sometimes some of the funnest conversations you can have. When you're having the back and forth with the people you're doing licensing, trying to put together lines and talking about, and they get to tell us too in advance some of the things they've got coming down the pipeline that we might not be aware of, that they give us a heads up, so we can start baking those toys, if you will, so they're ready in time for any kind of event that they might have. So.
Yeah, thanks for having me up here, guys. Honestly, I don't know how I'm gonna follow Jim with.
We got somebody from Marvel, from DC. Man, who'd go? Bring somebody from Boom Studio now.
So Jesse gave us a heads up a long time ago about Marvel Rivals. Most played video game on the planet, practically, and we are just hitting stores this fall. And Jesse, you've got 2 of them right next to you. 1/6 scale. Yeah. The Hulk, Venom, Iron Man, and Spider-Man, which I have a render, but Jesse's got the real thing.
That is, guys, I mean, this is an incredible partnership. You guys, I mean, I've been in the toy industry for 31 years. I think I started at Toy Biz.
Yeah.
The same year you created, what you did and changed the entire industry. And everybody was looking at what McFarlane was doing. So for the 12-year-old kid inside of me who gets to come with me to work every day, to work with you on this is an incredible experience. And guys, honestly, like, for me to see these in person, I have not seen them in person yet. We just see vendors and things on the screen.
I'm going to turn around.
I mean,
Right, because
the weight of this thing.
Because the thing that's fun about the Rivals is that there's a style to it. And one of the great things about trying to do other people's work is trying to capture their style, right? And so this guy, like, he's big and beefy. I mean, when I was a kid, and I did Spider-Man, but I always take the Hulk because I have a younger brother, and it's easier to hit him over the head with this one. And I just like big beefy stuff. But I also like the style of this guy with a little bit of a tiny head. He just looks like he's about 2,000 pounds. It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the Marvel Games team did an incredible job. Those guys are firing on all cylinders over there. Every time they put a game out, whether it's Snap or a re-release of Marvel Capcom Rivals, or I think you guys may have seen Marvel Pokemon, which is a brand new head-to-head fighting game. We haven't made one of those with a new partner for 30 years. We have a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Let's see. Let me tell you about your game too. My son just recently got married. They were like, Dad, you gotta come over to the house. I'm like, well, I could see it. Have you seen it? And I'm like, no, go pick it up. Sweet. I'm like, okay, we'll do it. And the whole time they were sitting there, they were both, especially the wife, going, it's like watching a movie. Come watch it. It's like watching a movie. I've done TV shows that I don't get as much entertainment as watching this video game, and she doesn't play, she just watches her husband play. This is my son. And I'm going, wow. So somebody hit it on the sweet spot. So you've got people going, I'd rather watch Marvel Rivals than whatever's streaming on Netflix today, right? So it's pretty good.
Thanks to our friends at Marvel Publishing and Jesse's help, there's going to be a Marvel Rivals comic book in every 1/6 scale stacking. So if you want some reading material along with it, it's great. And then we have the smaller scale, so like the Spider over there, where we can do some of the breakout stars like Jeff Blanchard. And Jesse, I don't know if you've been doing Marvel product for a long time. How many Jeff Blanchards have you helped bring to market?
All of them?
All of them?
But I mean, there's a lot more in the pipeline because, I mean, Jeff's having a moment right now between him being in our preschool shows, and being in some other content we're developing, and obviously Jeff's incredible popularity on this platform. We get metrics from our games team, and like every time they have a drop, and if you guys who are playing Marvel Rivals, you know that there are constant new drops. There's a really cool one now for Halloween. Jeff's wearing a pumpkin. It's really great.
Now, look at if you can't have fun in what we know at its core is still a business, right? We all have to conduct a certain business so that we can keep doing more fun, creative stuff. So I know in my life that whenever I can just go and just say, hey, I want to just sort of get goofy, have fun. It's really, to some extent, Jesse, why I put Spider-Man in those posters.
Yeah.
To just go, this Spider-Man, let's have a little bit of fun with that, right? And you can carry that across any of the businesses you do. It always makes the day that could otherwise be a little bit trying at times, that much more enjoyable. So he always puts a smile on my face to keep that job.
Yeah, he's incredibly engaging. I've had multiple conversations at conventions about people who have had a connection with this character. This character is a very calming character for them, which is a wild thing because he's not calming in nature. He's very chaotic, but maybe that duality leads into some of that. But listen, you know, Marvel's got thousands of characters, and when they every week create new ones, every year create more, and this is just a really great addition because if you look at the pantheon of the characters that they have, I don't know that you would have spotted a puppy-sized great white shark. You know, like that's going to be like the 2025 breakdown character.
Yeah. No, those are always the fun ones when you get it wrong.
Yeah.
And the audience tells you, this is the right. This is the character. Everybody was putting all their eggs over here, and they go, no. This is going to be our one over here. Look at, we don't get it right all the time. It's an inexact science, doing licensing and making products. You like to be humble from time to time, but deliver the product you guys ultimately want.
Jumping over to the comic side, in the 1/6 scale format, we've got your Iceman from Marvel Tales.
Yeah, so there was a while there where I was doing Spider-Man, and they wanted me to do covers for Marvel Tales, which was a reprint book of Spider-Man, but then they decided to take all the adventures of Spider-Man with the mutant character, the X-Men character, whatever you want to call them. And so for about a year and a half, I got to do X-Men. I never did X-Men. I didn't have any interest in doing X-Men, but I saw everybody else was doing it. There was still, I had favorites that I wanted to draw. Hey, it'd be cool if I could draw, Cyclops once or Wolverine once or whatever. But I thought Iceman was kind of cool, and there's a big image I did on one of my Marvel Tales. That's what that one's based on right there.
And then in the smaller scale, again, recreating some of the greatest covers and interiors. Tanya's got a number of features here in the middle. Steve Ditko, Doctor Strange, all the way over to Jimmy. We should have had him stay for Gambit. But Blizzard, Spider-Man, and Juggernaut from your final Spider-Man.
Yeah, and it's a little trivia. Close your ears, Jesse. That one right there with the Juggernaut, if you go back to the image, I had announced to Marvel I was quitting, right? So, and part of the big reason I said before is I was going to be a father the first time, and I just go, I don't know what that's going to take, what's going to entail. Just a good time right now for me to take a breather. And I was really good at deadline. And I had it, and doctors are really good. They gave us a date when our first child was going to be born. And I had it, so I had the last week what I was going to do, I was going to finish it the day before. Right? Like, I'm going home and nail this, and then I'm done. I'm going to be at that. She came 2 days early. And so, we love her, but she came 2 days early. So I'm like, oh man, I'm not finished. But luckily I saved, because again for time, I saved the last 2 pages I had to do with the 2-page spread. It was that drawing right there. Those were my last 2 pages I ever drew for Marvel, that big Juggernaut one. And our daughter was born with, her name is Cyan. It's after the color blue, C-Y-A-N. So if you look at that book, if any of you guys have that last book, and we actually even, I don't even know, Jesse knows we snuck this in there, but in the drawing, because my daughter had been born, he's bending a street sign, and it says like something like 46th Street and Cyan. I put my daughter, who was that point was 1 day old, I put her name on, and we colored it blue, cyan blue. So now this toy has the sign, and it says Cyan on it. And she's now a 33-year-old doctor.
Nice.
So will she get a copy of the statue to keep in her father's office?
I don't, and the thing is, I don't even know if she knows this.
She was very young when it happened.
I don't know if I've ever told her that. Because you can imagine that one, Dad has never worked a day at Marvel. He's like, my life is post-Marvel. So she's never asked me anything about Marvel. Probably never told her. But yeah, she can get a toy with Cyan, and she can be sort of in her group here, going to go in this. I got my name on the toy. What about you? What's your fucking Marvel toy?
Jesse, we've hit John Romita, Junior and Senior, Steve Ditko,
Yeah.
Michael, any other artists from this and so far that you want to see go on the market?
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
What do you want? Yeah, what do you want?
Joe Mad.
Who?
Joe Matarara.
Joe Matter, okay.
And just because his design sensibility is so unique, it's so different from anything you guys have touched.
Yeah.
Also, like, Joe was, I think, part of the wave of guys that came right after you guys
Right.
left.
And he went into video games too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean, it was a shame because I was hoping he'd have a big long run in
You and me
comic
both.
book.
You and me both.
But if anybody in this room is aware of Joe Mad, we can call him Joe Mad, it's for short. His style, it was like superhero, to me, kind of early manga, Japanese influence. It had a cool, there was a cool vibe there that a lot of people were actually influenced by him for a while there.
Ed McGinnis, I think,
Yeah.
was one of the guys that you brought on who had a very similar style. But I've spoken to Joe about this because I was friendly with him while he was still in the comic book industry.
Yeah.
And if you walk in here, I'd love to say hi to him, but his hero was a guy named Vengus, who was the designer at Capcom, who designed all the Street Fighter characters, all the Marvel characters.
Yeah, do
that
those.
stylization, and that was his kind of jumping off point.
Yeah.
And then he took that and he extrapolated his own thing on it.
I mean, what I would say about
I mean, it looks a
Joe
lot
Mad,
like
yeah,
this.
if you like that,
Yeah.
then Joe Mad sort of was like early in on that
Yeah.
kind of cool styling that was on there.
Yeah.
So we just didn't get enough from him in comic book, because whenever we have favorite artists, we never want them to leave.
Yeah.
So since we took your request, we thought maybe we'd get some fan requests at the same time.
So what now?
Character requests?
Oh. Okay, so I know what he's trying to do. I don't want to put you on the spot now, right? So again, I'm talking to Brian here. You approve stuff, right?
I do, yes. That's what they pay me money for.
Okay, so what we thought, you can say no, but pressure's on now. What if we make a line of characters where I was talking to you, but we miss some? Can I get the audience to give us some suggestions, and in real time, you say yes or no, and the character, like not 100, but can we do like 3 or 4, and if you say yes, we have to go and make them.
We got 2 minutes, let's do it.
Okay, who wants
2 minutes,
to,
let's do it.
okay, he's either gonna say yes or no. I don't know what his reasoning is. If he says no, maybe you give it, maybe you won't. Don't take it offensively. But we're gonna get 3. You guys are gonna pick a bunch of characters coming out in the next couple of months. How about that? And we've got, everybody got their fucking phones, because he says yes.
Right here, this guy.
Okay, he's got his phone.
He's got his phone.
So, do you have to clear this? Well, do you have to clear this? What is happening?
Let's just not talk
You
about
have
it.
to- Okay.
Frank Miller, Daredevil, I think it's foolish if we don't.
Okay. You got one? That's a good one.
This fellow with the shirt, with the plaid shirt. That's you, sir. You're wearing a plaid shirt.
Todd's a Ghost Rider.
Todd's Ghost Rider?
Oh, yeah, that'd be good one.
With the bike?
With the bike.
Yes.
That's a Todd question, because that's a,
No, we should do it, but I put it in, we got a lot of feedback on that. I think the Ghost Rider visually is really done right. So, yeah, we missed that one, but,
This is what you have done in front of here.
okay.
Stanley. We can do it. It's, we have a couple extra steps involved. We can do it.
So we'll put that as 4B, right? So again, 'cause, like, I don't think you can just say yes.
Yeah, I don't own, Disney doesn't own Stanley. But again, Marvel doesn't own it legally, we don't, we have to talk to another company, but we're a very good relationship with that company.
Yeah, no, that would be cool.
I think that would be.
They're trying to get him to wrap it up.
Dozens and dozens of times, and, that
wrap
way you
it
can
up.
take
Come on.
the Todd toys that I did with Spawn, and then we get to stand when you put us up on stage, we can recreate, that's what I used to do. Dylan meets Stan.
Real quick, two more, and then we get
This gentleman right here, second row, that's easy.
Gabriel Delgado, his not Octopus.
Ooh. Yes.
How come you keep saying no to us on the phone?
Hey, thanks for being here, guys. This is
This
is interesting. It's okay. I'm gonna get a slice of pizza after this.
Oh, no,
No, you did the last
I gotta
person.
hold the last person.
Yeah.
Okay, hold a sec. I'm gonna go, this guy here's got a toque. Now again, that's a Canadian term. You guys call it beanie, stocking cap, what do you call it here in America? Canadians, we call it a toque. He's got a toque on, the guy with the toque.
Character set of Weapon X, Old Man Logan, beginning and the end.
I love it. What artist?
Everyone you feel is best.
Whichever one I feel is best. I like that answer.
How about that?
Someone's
You
important.
don't ever answer
Sabaros, yeah, I don't think so.
How about, can I give you one?
Yes.
How about, like, Yellow Dinosaur?
Kirby
I
stuff.
mean, Kirby.
See, that'd be a good one. Kirby.
He's gotta have Blue Boy on it.
Yes,
Yes.
that's right. Blue Boy, you guys ever seen that comic book? It's crazy, it's fun, it's just a big red T-Rex done in Kirby style that's in there. Maybe, I'm gonna come back to it, some Barry Wonder Smith, Barry Wonder Smith.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like such a specific, beautiful style. Man, that Weapon X
Okay,
ray.
so.
They're trying
we
so
have
hard to end this, and it's
I think
not.
said yes on
Frank
3 or 4
Miller.
of those. We'll have the Frank Miller, we've got the Ghost Rider, is 2, what was the other one?
Stanley figures.
Stanley,
figure.
that one got to go deeper.
Yeah.
What was the other one you said yes to?
Delgado.
The one, and then the Doc Ock. Okay, those, you guys look for those, where somebody's recording it.
Yep.
So he just said yes, and now the only thing would be, could we nail it good enough for him to give us the approval of, he knows the art, we have to now get close enough for him to say, you nailed it, right? So you guys got the first approval for us, thank you. And we'll get hopefully the second approval, and then we'll put it out, maybe we'll even put a little note on the packaging saying.
Well, thanks for
suggested
coming here, guys, and
at
watching
Miracle on 2025.
I love
the
it.
DC Multiverse reveals and everything else. Woo! Pretty okay.
Oh, okay, and that's it, thanks for coming.
Thanks, guys. That's it for the toy panels, but I'll be here to see some more stuff. Don't worry.